storytelling time.
All right. What is up, party people? Good morning. Thank you for joining me on this special morning edition. Well, I guess if you're on the East Coast, it's already noon, it's lunchtime. So let's just call it an earlier edition of Journal Party Live. I've got plans this evening. I'm sorry. I have a life, folks. So unfortunately, I can't host it at our regular 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. But, I've been wanting to actually have some more morning sessions, some more earlier sessions for us as well. So I figured we'd try it out. And you know what? There's always the replay for folks who got a dip, people who got to go to work, etc. What's up, Charlenia? Good to see you. Awesome. Cool. So I had a cool little background here. Hold on a second. All right. That's not it. There we go. Cool. All right. So today's little jam session is it's gonna be about attitude. And as a lot of you know, I put together a lot of these programs based off of things that are going on in my life because as I said, I'm a human being like the rest of you, and I know that we all go through some of these things, including needing an attitude adjustment. I had some issues come up with just some business stuff that was pretty tough to handle over the past week, and um, I realized that I wasn't necessarily showing up as my best self and that I wasn't having the best attitude about it. I mean, it's tough. Sometimes things are like objectively not fun or not something that you want for yourself. And um, that said, I think it's really important how we actually interact with these things when they come into our experience because ultimately, I think we get to if we're intentional about it, choose our state and how we show up in the world, and that actually makes a huge difference in the things in the experiences that we're having, and some hopefully we're having one that's enjoyable, but also the experiences that we're attracting into our lives. And so this program that we have today, let me share the screen here. This program that we have today is all about an attitude adjustment. What is going on with this thing? One second, folks. Almost. Okay, yeah. So it's about attitude adjustment, and the idea is that even when things knock you off track, if you realize that you need an attitude adjustment, you can come into this program here. We got 10 prompts for you that will help you kind of reset your state into one that's a little bit more positive. And from there, we're operating with, well, hopefully more joy and hopefully more efficiency and all the good stuff that comes from not just getting sucked into negativity, which is something that is we're all prone to. All right, so I anticipate that today's session will be a little lighter because the evening hours, and so it's all right if it's just a few of us today. Like I said, the recording will still be chilling there for everybody. But if you're ready, go ahead, open up your journal, and give everybody one more minute to get in here, and then we'll get started. Alrighty, folks, it is now 5 after, and so I think it's time to get going. We all have stuff to do today. So let me go ahead, get rid of this ticker here so people aren't confused about what's going on. And I will hit the start now button. Go ahead and open up your journal and let's start the day with some reflective writing to change our attitudes into one that's good. All right, first prompt of the day, reset your day. Write about one thing that's been bothering you today, or recently. I know it's early for some of us. How can you reframe it in a positive light? Next prompt, gratitude boost. What is something small that made you smile recently? Okay, next one. Kindness shift. Think of someone who annoyed you today or recently. How could you approach them with kindness instead? Next prompt, powerful words. Write down a phrase or mantra you can say to yourself to stay motivated when things get tough. Next prompt, celebrate you. What's one thing you've done recently that you're proud of, no matter how small? Perspective check. What would your best friend or mentor say about how you're handling life right now? Energy audit. What is something draining your energy, and what's one step you could take to address it? Flip the script. Write about a recent disappointment. What opportunity might be hiding in it? Joyful moments. What's one activity that never fails to lift your spirits? How can you make time for it this week? And what's up, Kawana from Los Angeles? Welcome. Welcome to the party. All right, get ready for your last prompt, vision of positivity. Picture yourself in 6 months with a more positive outlook. What's different about your life? All right, everybody. Thanks for joining me on this special earlier edition of Journal Party Live. Hopefully, your attitude has been adjusted. I definitely needed this myself. I've been as I mentioned, I've been a little off kilter because of some unfortunate circumstances surrounding just some business operations type of things. And when you work really hard on something and things don't go your way, when your expectations don't match your reality, sometimes it's really easy to get knocked off course, and that's kind of what happened to me. But fortunately, with any level of self awareness, you can recognize when you're spinning out or anything like that. And we have all these amazing tools at our disposal to cultivate a better state for ourselves, so that we can show up in the world the way that we really want to in this life. And that's what the intention behind today's program was. It was really nice for me to, um, even create some space for the things that were bothering me. I think, that's another thing that's kind of dawned on me with this process, is just that a lot of times when things show up in our experience that we don't want, or that don't match our expectations, the urge or the impulse is to kind of resist it, try to stuff it back down, don't allow it to show up. And unfortunately, denying reality is a painful experience and process, if you don't get out in front of that and change that in what you're doing for yourself. And so I think this was useful, just to be able to even create some space for the stuff that you don't necessarily like, or that you have a certain feeling about. And as I mentioned, there were some unfortunate circumstances that were showing up in my experience, and I think that initially I was just really resisting it. Like, why is this happening? Wanting it to be different, and that there's a lot of pain in that, because it's not different. It can't be different, and so rather than pouting about that and continuing to go through life in a way where your attitude is poor, it doesn't bode well for your experience. And so this was really nice for me to allow these things to be there in my experience. But then if you noticed, a lot of the prompts are about sort of flipping the script a little bit, and changing how you interact with those things showing up in your experience. And rather than just resisting them and rejecting them outright, we can acknowledge them as part of our life experience, and then and then choose how we want to respond to that. And hopefully we do that with positivity. And I'm already feeling a little better. I mean, it doesn't change the reality of some of these circumstances, but by orienting myself in a way that's positive, I feel like I can be a nicer individual. I know that sometimes it's really easy when you don't like something, or something doesn't go your way, to get nasty with somebody in an email or something like that. And we're all human beings. We're all hopefully trying our best. And I think one of the themes that was showing up for me here was just having a little bit of compassion, even if somebody's done you wrong. That's not to say that we endorse mistreatment or anything like that, but I think we can all have compassion and empathy for the human experience, and that hopefully it's not anybody's intention to do wrong by you or create difficulties for you in your life. And so that was interesting for me, just kind of seeing that, all right, even when I'm angry with somebody, or even when something doesn't go my way, it's like, okay, I can still acknowledge the human being on the other side of that, and I think that makes it a little bit more manageable for me. So that's my share. Normally, I don't know if anybody's new here, but typically after we go through these prompts, we like to share our insights, and so I usually kick it off because I know it takes some time to type. But if anybody has anything that they want to share, please let me know. Otherwise, the other thing that I was thinking here is I do plan on doing some more earlier editions of Journal Party Live, because even though it's really nice to do the journaling sessions at night where we're winding down, or especially in the midweek, I love doing these on Wednesday nights. I'm thinking, we can also have some more of these earlier sessions, because morning journaling for me is actually probably core to my whole journaling routine, my whole practice. And I think that rather than winding down, earlier in the day when we have more energy and things like that, we can actually, that's when it's a really good idea to set our intentions for the day, decide how we want to frame our state of being for the day, and then hopefully the day greets us with a little more gusto, and it's a little bit more easy to navigate. And so I was thinking, on some of these earlier sessions, we can always obviously talk about insights and things that we experienced during the process of journaling, but one of the things that I'm thinking we can do is maybe set up some space for people to discuss what their goals are, what they're trying to accomplish in the coming days and the coming weeks. And one of my visions for how Journal Party is to be is that we can support each other and also hold each other accountable to the things that we want for ourselves. Not to say that we need to be like full on life coaching each other and stuff like that, but I think obviously this is a really supportive community built of people who are self-reflective and are willing to work on themselves. And I just think that there's magic when we when multiple minds come together in pursuit of these things, even if it's just giving that +1 to somebody else's intention, and giving them some good juju, some good energy about it. I think there's something to that. And so this week, I know we're already midweek, but I'm currently working on bringing back the 7 day daily journaling challenge for everybody. And so I'm trying to figure out how I want to go about that because we've made some updates to it from when we originally offered it. And so I'm trying to figure out, what the best way to do it is. I was thinking of maybe making it free this go around. I know some people have, before it was like a pay what you want sort of program. But I was thinking I could make the base challenge free perhaps. And then maybe offering like an upgraded sort of, I don't want to say VIP because we're all important, but maybe like a premium version of it as well that actually includes some of our additional programs for the people who want to go a little bit deeper, or maybe those people who need a little bit more support. I know that one of the things that I hear over and over again from our community is, either people are just getting started and they don't know where to start, but actually more common is, people who have a journal somewhere that's just collecting dust. And it's really easy to start things, but it's not always easy to cultivate these habits and these routines. And I just have to say that, as somebody who's journaled for over 25 years in my life, it's helped me navigate some of the most difficult things, and also to get the most out of like the best that life has to offer. And I really want to share that. That's kind of the mission here. I've always had it as like my primary goal for Journal Party, to get 1 million people to journal with us, not just start journaling, but actually to be journalers. I think if there were more of us that were willing to do this kind of work, where we're being self-reflective, but also, setting intentions of positivity, and going out there and greeting the world with a little bit more mindfulness, a little bit, raised consciousness. I think that's what the world really needs right now. And um, the challenge was pretty good at getting us our initial run of members and people in Journal Party. And so I'm thinking I'll probably try to bring that back. And so I'm working out the details, but that's what I'm working on, and I'm hoping to bring that to you all by hopefully by next week. So hold me accountable to that. Let me know if anybody here has something that they're working on that they need maybe some support with, or just some accountability. Let us know what your goals are. Let us know what you're working on, and that way when you show up next time, we can check in on you and make sure that you're doing that what you're saying you're doing. I mean, it's so important that we not only just set intentions, but that we actually I think it's important to keep our promises, not only to other people, but to ourselves. And, sometimes we'll set the bar maybe a little too high. I often intentionally set the bar really high and too high on things that I'm going after, just because I know that, even if I don't make it, I will end up close to where I want to be. And so, that's no shame if you're not just like 100% crushing, all of your goals with everything that you want. I think it's more about the intention, and also thinking bigger for yourself. And so, let me know if I can be supportive in that to you guys. I promise, we're going to have some really great programs trickling out in the coming weeks. So far so good, knock on wood. The fire situation here in LA seems to be improving a little bit. And so I'm actually back into my home office and back into my studio. So Journal Party Live is no longer being recorded like into my my laptop and my cell phone. So check out the newest episode this week. It's kind of adjacent to this topic of attitude adjustment, and that it's actually a little bit more specific. And this week's Journal Party podcast, we go through 5 prompts to cope with anger, which is actually surprisingly, we've done over 100 programs for Journal Party at this point. And it dawned on me that we hadn't really done one about anger. And I think, maybe I shy away from those sorts of things just because, well, if somebody's really angry or has anger issues or something like that, it's important to me that they're getting the right help. People are getting counseling if they need it, and going to professionals if it's a really serious problem. But at the same time, I think anger is one of those things that we all deal with. And as we were discussing earlier, I think it's useful to create space for these things, even when they're uncomfortable in our experience. It's useful to create that space, to acknowledge it, and then to be intentional about how we actually want to show up, to decide, hey, I'm not going to let that anger or that bad attitude take over my experience and create more of that for myself. It's a signal if anything. It lets us know that, hey, this is something that I care about, and maybe I want it to be different, but rather than just resisting and wishing it were different, we can take that as an opportunity to listen to that signal and then actually be intentional about how we show up in the world. So with that, I can see we're it's a lighter session today. I know we're off the regular schedule, but I appreciate everybody who's shown up with us. Tina, I can't believe it's 9 degrees in Cincinnati. It's like, I think it's in the 50s here in Los Angeles. But yeah, it's that's crazy. 9 degrees. Well, I guess my little snow graphic back here was kind of appropriate. Anyway, yeah, I hope you're staying warm and cozy in this weather. All right, folks. Well, I've got a whole work day ahead of me. I got some interesting and fun and exciting things to work on in the tech world with some of my clients there, and then like I said, I'm going to be working on bringing back that challenge. So that's what I'll be working on today, and then hopefully I can get a lot done and feel really good. I got just a personal share. I'm getting married in March, and I got my bachelor party this weekend. It's crazy. We're going on a cruise. And I grew up in Florida where I actually went on a lot of cruises growing up, and it was always warm though, because we're always in the Caribbean. It's always like this tropical climate. And when I booked this cruise, we're actually we're going out of Los Angeles and down. We're going to be in the Pacific Ocean. It didn't even occur to me that it could be cold. And I looked up the forecast, and we're going to be in like the 40s down by the time we make it down to Mexico, which is crazy. So yeah, I had bought a bunch of tank tops and stuff. Was looking forward to laying out in the sun, but I think maybe I'll have to get some hoodies and some stuff that's a little more bundled up so that I don't freeze out there on that boat. But anyway, it's going to be a good time, and that was one of the prompts here. What do you do? What's something that always lightens the mood, lifts your attitude up? And one for me is always being in good company and hanging out with my friends. So I'm really looking forward to that this weekend. Hopefully we can all stay out of trouble and just have some fun. I know we will. So that's what I got going on. And then I'll be back in time, of course, to do another Journal Party podcast. We've been releasing them every Monday. And then, we're back on it. Hopefully, I think we'll probably pick up with Journal Party Live in the evening on next Wednesday. So if you're watching the recording, or this was a special occasion or whatever, keep in mind that we typically do these at 6:00 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Wednesday nights. And those are always free. That said, we're looking at ways to make the premium experience a little bit more valuable for everybody. So, you can see there's a QR code there. If you want to grab our app, there are free programs in the app, but there are also over 100 self-coaching guided journaling programs in there as well. And, in addition to just the programs, I think that it would be nice if we had some more sessions, and perhaps ones that are like more of a Zoom sort of experience. I know these are like a broadcast and people can chat and stuff like that, but I think that for the premium members, we're going to actually start hanging out face to face and doing things like having like an accountability board and actually working a little bit more intentionally and creating more bespoke programs for everybody, so that the people who are really into this whole journaling thing, and specifically the guided journaling thing, are getting not only their money's worth, but that they're getting just something that's really awesome that everyone feels really good about. So anyway, I got my work cut out for me, and I've also got some really awesome things on the horizon. So again, thank you for showing up today. I hope everyone has a really wonderful rest of your day. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and hopefully I survived my bachelor party, and we'll be back on time to see you next week. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you for showing up.